Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this in the world. I hope you guys are doing okay. So, toxic is a word that I genuinely try to stay away from because I personally think people use it way too much these days. It's kind of become one of those diluted things you say when you don't really know how to categorize the behaviors or actions you're seeing, and that's what I believe happens in this video. That is what I believe this video to be. Now, I know that the take I'm about to give on this video is going to be one likely shared by very few of you. I understand that. I'm expecting pushback, but I did want to explore it. But it is honestly how I see things. However, I enjoy going into the comment section and talking to you guys, and I imagine this is going to spark some interesting conversation. The creator in question is called Just Badges. He's a Tekken player and he posted this on Twitter originally. So let's take a look at what he's saying and break it down bit by bit.
Bruh, I know this Tekken King really did not just teabag me, bro. Like, what? Imagine being a Tekken King and teabagging someone in purple rank. Like, bro, you better be winning. And the game was close. As you can see, it went to final round. So, I went in the lounge chat and I said, bro, I know you really did not just teabag me. And this dude goes, oh, you backed out after one game, that's pretty weak. I said, nah, bro, you being a Tekken King and going the final round with a flame ruler, that's even more weak. And when I said this, the dude goes, I'm just having fun. And I'm thinking, so being toxic is what we're doing for fun these days. I mean, that's how I know you're a cornball. Obviously, I didn't play him again because he teabagged. I'm not gonna waste my time playing these immature players, like acting like they're godlike.
Now, where I grew up, teabagging your downed opponent, no matter what field you was on, was very normal. Whether that be a fighting game or a shooting game or whatever it might be, that was normal. I'm sure you guys remember the Halo 2 days. I don't care if you were a jackal and I was a prophet. You're gonna get this dunking. It is what it is. It was never toxic to us back in the day. I'm not sure why it is now. It's a part of the culture. That's the way I see it. You know how you stop this from happening if you don't like somebody teabagging you? Get better at the game. You don't have to do it back to them, but if you beat them silly, then they can't teabag you. I know he didn't say this, but teabagging has been at the forefront of some really stupid controversies before. Do you guys remember when someone tried to say that teabagging is a form of sexual harassment? In my opinion, that is ridiculous, but I also think this is pretty ridiculous. In my opinion, it opens up a whole can of worms. You might be sitting there thinking, yeah, I said it was toxic, but I didn't mean like that, and I guess I'm really saying the same thing here. I don't think it's toxic at all. I earned the right to teabag you. I earned the right to dunk on you. My virtual nuts are allowed to be in your face because you lost the match and you are lying there limp, knocked out. I can do whatever I want. If you don't like it, you just have to win.
So, you know, I go about my business. I go to a different lounge. I sit at a machine and someone comes to play. Lo and behold, look who it is. This guy really followed me. He followed me to play me again.
Dude, that's hilarious. I'm sorry. I know you're probably thinking I'm toxic now or something, but I just find it so funny that the guy was hunting you down. That's crazy to me. I don't have that kind of energy, but that is kind of funny.
Just to be a troll. Imagine going out of your way, wasting your time doing this. And of course, I had zero interest in playing this dude again, but I had to commit because we're already in the game. Obviously, I didn't want to plug. I do wish that this is one thing they would add to avoid stuff like this, like people you don't want to play, besides blocking them, is you can, once you play someone, you can see if you're playing them again to avoid stuff like this. But anyway, I had zero interest in playing this dude, but I couldn't back out. So he wins again, and of course he taunts. And then I tell him in the chat, I'm like, bro, you really following me now? And he goes, good game, man. And just being sarcastic, you know, trying to belittle my skill to boast himself even more. And I'm just thinking, I've been thinking this for a while because I feel like this is like happening a lot with Tekken 8 and just like fighting games in general and even just things that are competitive. It's like dudes these days have such low self-esteem, bro, that they have to try and gas themselves up at any little thing.
Maybe there are some people that gas themselves up through a game because they haven't got anything else going for them in their lives. That could be true, and I imagine it probably is. But so what? It is just a game at the end of the day, and you lost. And Tekken lets you move around when you win. So if I win the match by right, I can do whatever I want. He can do whatever he wants. As you lay there limp, he earned that right. I wouldn't let it bother you that much. Personally, when someone beats me and they taunt me, I'm just like, no problem. that's on me. I let a bitch-made individual like yourself beat me, guess I'm bitch-made too. I better fix that, and then off to train I go. Taunting is a part of fighting games. It's a part of Tekken. It's always been a part of Tekken. And it's part of Tekken for a reason. And it's actually an effective tool in a fighting game, especially in this day and age where a lot of people have become fragile and get upset about absolutely everything. Taunting can really set someone off and completely throw them off their game and give you an easy win. Of course, it can also backfire and the person you just taunted locks in and now you're in for a world of pain, but it is what it is. It's funny. I welcome it. We see it in professional fighting. We see it in the WWE. We see it everywhere. People taunt others to get a reaction from them. I don't think it's toxic. I think it's part of the world of fighting, whether it's the esports world, the casual world, the real martial arts world, whatever it might be.
Any little thing to boost their ego, they have to try and go for it. And I don't know whether to be annoyed or feel bad for these guys these days. I really don't know. I'm like at a crossroads with this. But I know one thing as I conclude my TED Talk for today. If you're a higher rank than someone, bruh, you should not in any way, shape, or form ever be boasting about the win, teabagging them, taunting them, because again, you're supposed to be winning, bro.
Who says that I can't? I won. It's my right to clown you. There's no set victory achievements. I can dance and gloat as much as I want. As a matter of fact, when I do my streams every week, sometimes we'll do a tournament and sometimes I'll put a flame ruler against the Tekken god because we don't really have any other spaces, and I will sit there on stream and laugh like a madman. And everyone laughs with me, including the person getting slapped around, because it's just a game. It's all in good fun. Look, the way I see it is if it bothers you, then you just gotta lock in and get better. I mean, by the sounds of it, by watching your content, it looks like you are getting better, and I'm sure you will get to the point where you can slap this Leroy player up, but you just have to get there and vanquish your enemies. This is very much some anime type shit. This is a personal story, although some of you that come here often will know this. There's a player called Ruse, right? That he comes to my stream every week. Shout outs to Ruse, it's all banter, but we have a little rivalry. Now he plays Dragunov, so automatically the deck is stacked against me, and to make things worse, he's actually very good at the game. And for weeks, on my way up from Bushin all the way to my current rank of Tekken God, Ruse has been clowning me and consistently beating me. He's been a Tekken God / Tekken God Supreme for a while now. I think he might have dropped to Tekken Emperor recently, but either way, he floats around those ranks. I've only really just gotten here and solidified myself. Even though I've ranked to Tekken God 5 times, I feel like now I'm actually a Tekken God. And so I've really just gotten to this rank. And he was taking the piss out of me the entire time. And I said, okay, Ruse, no problem. I'm gonna lock in. Your time will come. Weeks went by and it was embarrassing defeat after embarrassing defeat. People in my stream chat clowning me over and over again. And do you know what happened? I finally got good enough. I unlocked my God key and I handed Ruse's ass to him. And last week I handed it to him again. And you know what? I cussed him out for it. I cussed his ass out for weeks of ridicule. And that is my point. Just lock in. That Leroy player earned the right to do whatever he wanted after the match. It is not toxic. It is a part of the game. That is why it's there. Ruse had every right to clown me, and now I have every right to clown him. And the clowning will continue. The clowning will not stop, and the beatings will not stop until skill improves.
That's like a 7-footer bragging about dunking on a 5-footer. Like, bro, I had to hope so, man.
That's not like a 7-footer dunking on a 5-footer, because the 5-footer can't do anything about his situation. You can. God decided to curse that poor man with no height whatsoever, but he did not curse you with the inability to adapt and overcome on Tekken. So as I said, you just need to lock in.
But yeah, I just had to make a note on this. And again, it's just my opinion. I'm curious to hear the opinion of the other members of the Tekken community. But I think we can all agree, don't be like this guy. Definitely don't be like this guy. Because there's always going to be somebody better than you, bro. In anything you do in life. Like, that's just real talk right there.
That's true. There is always going to be someone better than me in life. In whatever area of life, including Tekken. But it's not you. And I'm not talking to just badges. I'm just talking to anybody that I might have played and taken the piss out of. Maybe key charged. Yeah, there's somebody out there better than me. But it ain't you, so don't worry about it. You just gotta suffer, bro. That's just the way it is. You just gotta suffer. Hold it. Hope that someone comes along that can save you, or you're locked in this cage with me. That being said, I don't mean any of that in a hateful way to this guy. Of course not. I don't mean it as a put down. And for those of you that have gotten this far into the video, it is just within the context of a video game. I do not apply this to every area of my life. I do not go hunting down people in the gym that I know that can out bench press. I am just talking about a video game. Before you get your knickers in a twist, we're not saying every area of your life you go pick on somebody weaker than you. It's just a video game, guys. Okay, relax. To me, it's just harmless banter. I came from the arcade scene where it was totally normal to do things like this, but it was never done with malicious intent. I think dudes just enjoy mimicking animes. At least I do. I mean, I grew up watching Dragon Ball. As you guys know, I'm a very big Dragon Ball fan. You saw my reaction yesterday to Sparking Zero. I'm super excited. And my favorite anime character of all time is Vegeta, closely followed by Jotaro from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And both of those guys are no-nonsense fighters when they get into it. We've seen Vegeta throw a baseball at full speed at Yamcha, even though we know Yamcha wasn't going to catch that, tried to break my man's ribs. And we saw in the World Martial Arts Tournament, he unnecessarily punched that punching bag with an unnecessary amount of force. He's just that guy. I had a reputation growing up amongst my friends to be that guy whenever we played fighting games, that never truly held back or respects the fact that his opponent was much weaker, because that's how I learned how to play fighting games. A good friend of mine called Darky Diz, as well as another close friend of mine that a lot of you know as Lion-O, used to batter me around on Tekken 5, Tekken 6 and Tekken Tag 2, and then take the piss out of me. And I mean really take the piss out of me. Say some really out of pocket stuff, laugh in my face continuously. We'd be out doing something completely random and Lion-O would just start insulting me over Tag 2. But it was all banter. I never got my knickers in a twist. I understood that it was a video game and he earned the right to clown me. I remember there was this one dude at Trocadero. He was a Steve player. Now I know some of you that are listening to my video remember Trocadero in central London. I used to go there. I was about 15, 16 years old when Tekken 6 had come out on the arcades. Now hopefully this Steve player sees this, because I know he's going to remember this and I would like to get my revenge on him on Tekken 8. But man, that dude used to cuss me out constantly after beating me and do it in the most condescending manner possible. And you know what? I never actually beat him. He was clearly like late 20s, maybe early 30s, and I was like 15, 16 as I said. And I kept going back after school with my friends and he was always there, and I told him, you keep talking shit, one day I'm going to get you. 17 years on, I never actually did get my revenge on this guy. So if you by chance see this, please send me a message. I would love to beat you in front of everybody on Tekken 8. And that is really my point here, guys. I think that these things, these teabagging, key charging, taking the piss out of people, even if they're a lower rank, I don't think that is necessarily toxic. It is a video game at the end of the day. And a lot of the people that do these things, they're just regular guys. They're just having a bit of fun. They're just locking in on Tekken. Maybe it's my mentality. If a God of Destruction player clowns me on ranked and I keep on running into them, I make a note of their name. No problem. There was a Lily player that kept on doing it. This stupid Lily player, I can't remember what his name is. He's been in a couple of my videos before. He's a God of Destruction Lily. He has a Twitch. Can't for the life of me remember his name. But he kept on beating me, and the one time that I beat him, he won and done me. And I was like, oh, you're one of those guys. And since then, I've run into him like 3 or 4 times and I've beaten him consistently. He's taken matches from me, but I never won and done him. And he knows in his heart of hearts that his soul belongs to me, that he had to do a runner after I had fairly given him his matches. So I say to situations like this, when somebody teabags you, when somebody follows you around at the arcade virtually, when somebody key charges you, just take it as a sign that I need to get better so this clown can't get away with doing this to me again. Just lock in and beat them when you see them next time. I don't see it as toxic. I see it as part of the game. Maybe that's because I grew up in the Attitude Era and I was very used to hearing people clown other people. I was very used to being in the arcades, playing the game with much older people who would just clown you as well, regardless of your age. Maybe it was the kind of friends that I grew up with where we still take the piss out of each other today. I was literally on my boy's stream a couple of days ago, playing Tekken with Fallen and with Blue Majesty, and we were taking the piss out of each other as well. We were clowning each other and it's all in good fun. There's no hate. There's nothing like that. And if you're a stranger and you come into my stream and you start talking shit to me about the game, I'm going to talk shit back to you and we're going to have a little bit of a laugh because it's all within the context of the game. If you teabag me, rest assured you are going in my death note. I will find you and I will teabag you right back. But guys, I want to know what you all think about this because I know this is something that really irritates people and it was actually a topic of conversation on Twitter. I think we're all going to have differing opinions. I know people look for different things when they play games online, but like I say with YouTube, when you put your voice on the internet, you're opening yourself up to be ridiculed and criticized by everyone. And like Tekken Online, you're kind of putting yourself out there in the online space to be teabagged. So let me know what you guys think. Anyways, guys, thank you for all the love and support. Going to be plenty more Tekken and Sparking Zero related content content on here as well as other things, and I'll catch you all very soon. Take care and peace.